Welcome back. We're here to cover the divine feminine energy, and already this is looking pretty interesting. I named this video Beyond Lilith due to the placement of a couple of cards at the minute and a lot of energy that is coming through with divine feminine. I do believe you guys are having major revelations, and it's quite interesting because we have Goddess of Power as the crowning energy, and it is a Lilith card. Now it's in reverse, and I feel that we are actually moving through a transition. And I thought, wow, this is really interesting. Okay, let's look at the dates that Lilith is directly transitioning. And at this point in time, we do currently have, as we're moving into the third week, we do by the 29th of June have Lilith entering Libra. So currently it's in Virgo, and there is this shadow energy where it's sort of like it will act perfectionism as possible. We also could be critical on ourselves. We could be really digging deep. We also may feel all of a sudden, and this could be one way that it plays out, that we're ready to level up. Now, Virgo is higher heart chakra, and it's interesting because as a divine feminine today, I had some heart chakra. I was like, oh, interesting. Where's this coming from? Now, from a frequency point of view, how this can be playing out for divine feminine is, when we are in the shadow energy, Lilith isn't necessarily a negative thing. It is the shadow. It's also where potentially subjects to do with those areas were quite taboo. Now, what subjects could that be? Currently, it's sitting in the house of Virgo. So that can be to do with health, higher heart chakra, people misinterpreting our energy, having to, almost oozes the Barbie movie, where needing to be perfect, needing to be of this element. Now, there's these sacrifices we've made, and it's almost from a spiritual point of view, you could be feeling you're in the hangman position. Now, Goddess of Power, there is some power in these circumstances. There's power in transformation. There's power in also embracing our shadow. So where we've kind of tamed those circumstances, and they are actually a personal element of who we are, we can bring those things back to the table now, especially because as we do transition through signs, you tend to face your shadow within these dynamics, and then you come out of it and you're coming into a transition. So the next phase Lilith is moving into, as I mentioned, is in the house of Virgo. And for us, this can be to do with marriages, contracts, partnerships, balance and justice, the things we take on. And, what happens in those circumstances when we're in those elements of things, be it its workplaces, be it's the justice system, feminine archetype energies, as well as, shadow energies, masculine. Regardless, we are moving through a transition. Now, as we do look at the overall energy, I'm going to give you a close-up view as to the read. And I notice a lot of blue coming through here. Uniquely enough, Jupiter just moved into the house of Gemini, and it is very intellectual. Divine Feminine is going to really be thinking quite a bit, having light bulb moments, having revelations. This could be a lot to do with throat chakra. I also do feel some changes in your routine are happening, especially because Lilith's showing up here. It could be all of a sudden you're like, you know what? I want to change some things about my life. I want to care for my, this could be care for the health and nutrition. It could be caring for your body. And that can come in a myriad of ways. This also can come through for Divine Feminine, through her twin flame path, that Divine Feminine is looking at things that is going to work for them, but also we also could be looking at, okay, where are our shadow energies? Where are the frequencies of where we're holding? And this is the mirror, and that's not to say that we're bad people when we go through these vibrations. It's that we could be doing some shadow work and having some revelations to do with our shadow side. Now, we'll get into the first row. I'll give you a close-up view. Now, the first card that I do need to mention is the past position, and we will refer back to the crowning energy as we're summing this reading up for you guys. We do have goddess of sensuality in the past position. Um, this also can be where, I do really feel divine feminines are suddenly going to have revelations of wanting to change a lot in their life, both to do with the way people see them, perceive them, appreciate. This can be to do with nutrition and image. But again, there are still some things that is more internal than just the external surface value. So it could be for many of you, you're completely content with how everything is. And it is more to do with R&R, rest, recuperation, getting things in order, becoming quite organized and structured. A bit of OCD can be coming out at this point, especially in our physical environments as the moon transits. We may really feel quite pixelated if things aren't organized on the home front. So it could be that, in fact, you are needing to become more organized at home. Now, from this being in the past position, what I feel is you're protecting your energy. You also could have tried two ways. It could have been, to a degree, you were really protecting your aura, protecting your temple, not wanting to give out at an intimate level, and maybe even feeling that that divine masculine is not seeing you in an intimate way, and compartmentalizing you somehow. But this also could be on divine feminine side, that you are protecting yourself and not wanting to give your energy. And this is very common at a particular stage of journey into twin flame path. However, I do see as divine feminine is moving forward, and I feel the last 3 months have been very difficult for divine feminine, especially in their transition and the fact that the South Node is in Libra. There have been a lot of changes from eclipse season all the way from March through to now. A lot of the eclipse energy for divine feminine, this theoretically is an ascension year for divine masculine, but it's also a deeply transformative year for divine feminine. This will inevitably aid the joint connection, but in the interim, we did go through the last 3 months that was quite full of upheaval. And I do believe a lot of revelations are really going to come through with Jupiter moving into the house of Gemini. Now, divine feminine is in a very, very good position. And this is in the heart chakra. It's so beautiful to see this in the heart chakra. You have goddess of strength, and I'm really getting this magician energy coming through. So it's where you heal your heart and you feel grounded within your life. Whatever changes you're making, whatever changes are going on inside of you, it is inadvertently going to affect the external world. Now, I also feel that because of this, you're manifesting something, and some of you could get very confused, feeling, okay, if my heart chakra is open, if I'm manifesting this in, many times we can almost look under our armpits for, okay, have I done the clearing? Have I done the healing? We went through the runner chaser mode. What is going on with the context of this connection? Why has this not manifested in? Many times this can be an absolute compliment, because if it's not coming towards you, it does mean you've ascended to a different level, and it means that you will attract counterpart and or any other individual you're wishing to connect in with. However, it will come to you in a healthy format. So whilst it's not coming to you, the suggestion could be that the individual, the quadrant in question, is going through a transformation. And because you've taken a stand and you have boundaries here, it's a balancing that is coming through with both the masculine and the feminine. And this is an ultimate compliment, because it is meaning that you are going to get your highest heart chakra desires, but it is going to be in the utmost of harmony. There is a balance that is going to be coming through with both divine feminine and masculine. This is also something that is being manifested in for you, but I also feel you are directly at this point in time going through a balancing within your yin and yang. Yeah, this is almost ushering this person in. It's ultimately speaking, when you are using boundaries, it actually attracts the person in more so. And I'm noticing it's almost like she's got the sword here and she's holding a crystal ball. So this is a person going, good grief, I'm doing this. If I'd known that this would actually manifest it, and I would have done it years ago. But I also feel this individual is sort of feeling like they're turning their back on, a myriad of things. But at the same time, saw the judgment, cutting through, cutting to the crux of things and the crystal ball. There is an apprehension here that this boundary is actually, from a spiritual point of view, causing a transformation in the joint connection. And I do see God of action really coming in. This is attracting the individual in. It takes a turn. It's interesting. It's like something's halting here. Something's halting this situation. Oh God. Okay. This again, I will say this is very common. I'm noticing from the lower row here. Okay. That's what they're saying. Okay. So there's two energies here. There's two energies moving in, and it is like a bat out of hell. And I'm noticing a lot of 9 energies, and Jupiter links to 9. This also can be to do with marriage, the spiritual joint connection. I do feel there can be some opportunities coming for divine feminine. And some of you could be thinking, gee, if these opportunities come in, very, very, very likely, if there is an offer that comes to the table, initially it could be interest being shown to you by another individual. Now, the way to stay in alignment is to say, hey, again, this is good because like attracts like. Now, what do I mean by this? Because the first signification I'm getting is divine feminine is upset about this factor, but I want to tell you and rest assured that this is a positive thing. Now, if all of a sudden you do have it, you've set your boundaries, your heart chakra is there, you're manifesting things in, our ego initially says, well, heck, this wasn't what I manifested, because I do believe there's 2 individuals here. I'm noticing 2 rams. They're coming in like a chariot, okay? Now, I initially feel there could be some interest coming from another individual, and you could be saying to yourself, well, gee, this was not quite what I manifested. However, generally speaking, there could be a T-section in your road. Now, this ultimately could be your intuition saying, okay, I'm ready spiritually. I'm going to move on the path. I'm going to be open to a connection. And it could be merely that. For some of you, however, it could directly be an individual. Now, I just get this distinct feeling with the shadow aspect here, is that with all the changes that divine feminine's gone through, you're kind of stumped as to, okay, this surely couldn't have been for nothing. Why is another individual coming in, not my counterpart? Usually it is a test for you to go into your heart chakra, and we're noticing goddess of strength. You need to go into the heart chakra. You need to peel away the onion, and you need to go to the root cause and say, okay, where does this sit for you? Do you desire to have an individual point blank 0? Or is it still true to you within your heart chakra that it is counterpart and counterpart only? And only then will you see the truth. Because what I'm seeing is, from the shadow energy, I do see ultimately, if there are some clearings that you haven't gone through, this will come in because you have requested it. And then there could be some shadow energy disbelief. If you still feel in your heart chakra that it is counterpart, sit authentically with that. Do the inner child work, because the outcome card, it's really strange. Like I said, and I'll go back to the crowning energy in a minute. Outcome advice. Okay, unconditional love. Now, could you be making decisions based on this? Yes, you could be making decisions based on, look, what I'm looking for is somebody that's got their shit together. Let's just be perfectly honest. Don't we all? Everyone has a problem. I will tell you that. But the deepest fear is you just don't want, a pyramid of drama. Okay. But go into your heart space. Go into your heart space, because I'm seeing the top row extremely positive. I'm seeing even the second row at an interval comes positive, but this must be triggering something for you to actually have a revelation about your inner truth. Have unconditional love for yourself, okay? Say to yourself, whatever you feel is correct for you, you choose for you. But there could be a T-section in the road, Maybe due to disbelief, divine feminine is going on the merry way in a different direction. But for some, it could be that you're quite triggered by this because this new individual comes in and you're like, well, heck, that wasn't what I ordered. You know, where is my manifestation? It is manifested, but you get the test because you need to be brutally honest with what you're wanting so you can manifest it in. We will check in with this next week. If you want to get the next edition, as this is airing to the public, come through and jump into our YouTube members, where we also have Discord, where we coach, we chat, and we get ad-free content.